What up, guys? It's your hostess with the mostest, Mr. Johnson, and today we're going to be introducing a second part of our two-part series. So, you want to be a professional electrician, as agriculturalists, as farmers, and/or as young entrepreneurs, businessmen, philosophers, doctors, lawyers, McDonald's, whatever you want to pursue in the game of life. Teaching school is going to be huge. Um, Basic skills that you need to have. And this right here, y'all, can lead you to a great, fulfilling job. Young man in my church, he took his test last week. Hopefully get his apprenticeship starting this week. He only started off at $12 an hour, which, hey, if I was making $12 an hour at 18, I'd be happy too. If he makes it through year 5, he'll go from apprentice to journeyman. And during that year 5, he's going to be making $29 an hour. That's some real money, okay, especially for a 22, 23-year-old. Something to think about, all right? Anyways, what we're doing today is the second part, three-way switch. I've already done one side for you, and I've got the computer set up at a little more of an angle, so hopefully you can kind of see what we're doing. Similar thing to last time, you'll notice, though, we're using what's called 14 3-wire, okay? Instead of your 14-2 or your 12-2, that 14-2 is going to serve as our source later on. But similar to what we did with our switch and receptacle, we're going to set up our light boxes, if you will, or switch boxes. All right, we'll go from there. All right, loosen this up just a little bit. All right, looking something like that right there. Way to go, Mr. J. We'll tighten her back down. And you notice, guys, I'm not in a big hurry. Just take my time, focus on what I'm doing, okay? And that's how I'd like for you to do. If you got the opportunity at your house, to help dad or mom or anybody help wire a wire project, be a great practice for you. So I try to cut it at a 45 or turn it at a 45 as best as I can. In an ideal world, of course, I'd have everything raised up. All right, cut that. Let's see here. Put you to the side for the moment. Yep. All right, kind of do you a little bit. And I'm going to strip about 8 inches here too, and this is going to go across. All right, like so. All right. So what we're doing, our two boxes are going to have the 14-3, all right, or the three-way switch wire. And that's basically what we're wiring up. I had a young man ask me, so what is a three-way switch? What's the purpose? All right. Almost everybody has at least one three-way switch in their house. It's where you can turn the lights on, turn off the lights. All right. You can turn on the lights in one particular part of the room, and then you can turn them off in another part of the room. What? That's right. All right. So that's kind of the purpose or the thinking behind it. Convenience. All right. But also, save time, things of that nature. All right. So good job there, Mr. Johnson. Way to go. I'm about level. Okay. Like I said, I'm not tape measuring this. I'm straight eyeballing it. It's all for the kids. All right. Then I'm going to use 14-2 as my source. Source is what we're going to test later on in another Google video. All right. But I'll go ahead and get my 14-2 right here. You'll notice 14-2 is a different shape. 3 wires instead of 4. You'll notice the red wire kind of represents that. Can't tell if that's a ghost or that's Miss Flanagan. Ooh, spooky ghost. All right, we'll plug in like so. All right. Let's see, what's the time on this video? Oh man, I'm making great time. And The Rock means great time. I hope you guys all had a long weekend, enjoyed your time, whether it was in the duck blind or catching up with your friends at the local worship house, hanging out with some family. Those are all good things to do. One of the things that we celebrate on to this day, of course, Dr. King Dr. King was a great leader. You could have seen that in your Google assignment from the other day. And I hope that one message you can take from him is to lead by example. No matter if you're going to be a lawyer, doctor, farmer, philosopher, Wendy's boss, Dollar General owner, whatever it is you want to do, lead by example. And how do you lead by example? By doing your best, even when no one else is watching. Being the worker bee. Giving 110% until the task is accomplished, okay? For all you folks at home, that's kind of what it looks like. 14.3 going across, 14.2. We'll cut a little bit of this off. We'll save this for our light fixture at a later moment. All right, now, what we're going to do for the second part of our video is we're going to go ahead and strip a little bit. All right, not that kind of little bit. All right, but what I'm doing is I'm taking about 3/4 of an inch to an inch, okay? When you first start doing wiring, you know, I'd like for you to actually do more. As you get better, get down to that 3/4. Realistically, I think you only need about a half, all right? But we're stripping the black, the white, the red. It's all going to be considered exposed, all right? Stripping's not a bad thing, all right? Now, once I get them all stripped, I'm going to take with the three-way switch. You'll notice that three-way switch difference from that single pole or that 110. You're going to have 4 screws on it, okay? Your green and your ground all start with the letter G. Brought to you by the letter G. And so what I like to do is I like to get at least 3/4 grounded. You ask a living legend of ag teachers, Mark Avent. He prefers a horseshoe or 5/8. And anyways, Bolivar High School, Bolivar Central, great legend. All right. More questions, hit him up on Twitter at dadhasamanchu.com. Now, when you get right there, you're going to take this, and I like to go on with my Klein tool, kind of roll it like so after I ground everything in. I do the same here. All right. Now, ideally, you know, in a real competition, FFA competition, we probably take needle nose pliers and make question marks. But for all you folks on Google Class, I don't know if you'll stay with me that long. So I've made 4 hooks. Can you see any of that at all? Sure, Wolfers say so. All right, there's your ground, okay? Your ground, I'm gonna turn, I'm gonna make it clockwise like so. All right, turn the screw, make sure you're running with it, okay? Clockwise is easier for me to remember. Some other people like to chop or slide, part 37, slide to the right, all right? Let's go with whatever, and we'll tighten it up, all right? I wanna make sure that I can all the way around my screw. That way I've got a pretty strong connection. I'm going to tighten it back like so. All right. Then I'll take my red screw, green and red on the same side. Okay. That's because we love Christmas. It's Christmas all year long, according to the Temptations. You ever need a Christmas album? Get the Temptations, especially that Solid Night, that Silent Night, Holy Night, man. That's a great song. Love it, especially by the Temptations. I also like my Garth Brooks Christmas CD too. All right, so for you guys back at home, green and red, green and red. All right, we're gonna do the other side. All right, like so, like so. I'm gonna put this white up here. Okay, opposite of my red, red and white. Okay, those bright colors. All right, you can also remember it as the Russian, the Chinese. All right, the British. A lot of them got red and white, but they know what they're missing: blue. All right, blue, red, white, and blue, America. All right, so red and white, like so, and then on the back, you're gonna put your hot, okay, your black wire. It's hot to go. It's ready. It's hot to go right now. All right. I want to make sure I get all the way around it. I did this on purpose to kind of show you a little something, something. For you guys at home, you can see the black right there. I've got it completely all the way around and touching that white right there. I'd like to get this one in between there is what I would like ideally. Okay. As long as I'm 3/4, I'm good. Okay. that completes this round of Google videos, part 1. When you come back, I'm going to have this wired up for you, and we'll kind of talk from there for the next part. Any questions, follow me on Twitter, JJFFA. Woo!